Trudeau insists he still has what Canadians want. He's still got it. He's still got it going on, despite polling numbers, despite it's like, look at that face right over here. Okay, let me just see this face over here. There you go. There you go. Look at this face. This is the face of a man who's like living in another zone. He's not even really there with us. He's in another plane of existence in which he's the star, right? They call it first person syndrome or something like that. Liberals are having some robust conversations about the state of their party and its slump in popularity with voters, but those talks cannot happen in public, Immigration Minister Mark Miller said Monday. So they can't have these talks in public. They got to have them behind closed doors because they probably have to say, holy shit, we suck so bad, we need to do something. And they do not want the Canadian public to know how badly they know they're sucking. Prime Minister Trudeau moved Monday to address two significant issues for his government. And this is where they're really doing a 180. And I'm telling you, we got to be careful over here because if Pierre Poilievre's not careful and he was pandering these small groups, right, diversity groups, ethnics, small enclaves, small ghettos, he's going to get left behind by Sackboy because Sackboy knows he's made a huge mistake. The Liberal caucus knows they made a huge mistake. So they're coming around doing a 180. Two significant issues. Rolling back changes that saw an uptick, massive uptick, in TFWs, temporary foreign workers, and announcing plans to impose new tariffs on electric vehicles made in China. So this is, again, coming back to this made in Canada thing, right? Hence the thumbnail of this video, Make Canada Great Again. These tariffs are going to double the price of the Chinese EV vehicles, right? Well, that's electric vehicles. You get what I'm saying here, though, because there's been so much investment in electric vehicles by the Trudeau government, just throwing money at all these companies, right, in Windsor to ramp up. But now it turns out that their battery tech is actually behind the times, and China is killing it. So the only way for Canadians, these companies to actually compete, now that they've been given all this kind of money, tax breaks, all this stuff, is for tariffs to be imposed. But they're billing it as made in Canada, make Canada great again. Now, of course we want jobs here for our own people. There's no doubt about it. But who's actually going to suffer at this point is when these goods are going to be made more expensive. It's going to be the average person. So you got two things going on at the same time here, right? You got the jobs, we need to keep them here. We need to build our own industry and infrastructure. There's no doubt about that. But it's politically an incredible move. I really do believe this. It's a great political move to kind of do this 180. And I'm telling you, Pierre Poilievre has to be careful here. Make Canada great again. You never thought you'd hear it, right, from Sackboy, but here we go. Hey, let's find out what happens. But this year, the agenda has almost taken a backseat to survival. This is an interesting headline over here because it shows also what they're trying to spin this as. Canada to restrict low-wage foreign workers, consider lower immigration targets. So they know people are pissed, right? People are really upset right now. There's no doubt about it. But this is a perfect moment to spin this around. And you're going to see the spin right here. Ottawa, that's where I'm at right now. Ottawa, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is urging businesses to hire Canadians as his government announces new restrictions to limit the number of low-wage temporary foreign workers in the country. So he's going to really just blame this on businesses. Okay, nothing to do with their targets, nothing to do with easy PR, nothing to do with the students, right? The students who are in need or the huge number of Indian asylum seekers. All right, no, we're just going to say that it's businesses that have been trying to get the lowest labor possible. They're also considering whether to reduce its annual targets for permanent residency, a potentially major shift in immigration policy for the Liberals. They know they've gone way off the deep end. This is where Trudeau's doing his full 180. We need Canadian businesses to invest in training and technology and not increasing their reliance on low-cost foreign labor. You see that right there? This is a 180 degrees. It's not fair to Canadians struggling to find a good job, and it's not fair to those temporary foreign workers, some of whom are being mistreated and exploited. So you got an amazing little combination 1-2 punch, right? The 1-2 punch is, number one, it's not fair on us, Canadians, people here, native people here, born, raised here, and it's not even fair to those TFWs. It's not even fair to those immigrants coming in. Man, I'm telling you, Pierre Poilievre better stop pandering. He really better stop pandering. These guys know that they're losing at the end of the day. But this 180-degree shift, and you got to remember that Pierre Poilievre is not even, You know, he's not what you'd call a heavy-duty conservative, right? The guy is, there's a million photo ops with him with every ethnic group. Now, I'm not saying that the guy is not a million times better than Trudeau. Of course he is. Get Bozo the Clown in there and be better. But let's be real here. This is a game of politics, and there's a lot of people who like their free money, and they're free this, and they're free that. And that's who Trudeau's got. You know, man, this 180-degree shift, I can see, like, you thought people wouldn't go along with things, right? You thought they wouldn't go along with things. But then again, look at 22. Who knows what people are liable to do? All right, now, I don't want to make you too upset or nothing, and we got to get this guy out. But man, what a 180-degree shift. Anyhow, there it is, rowuncensored.com. I think it's somewhere, yeah, it's down there, right there. I just placed it here. Got a new setup. I'm making a little bit of a new setup. Busy with the kids and the rest. My kids have been helping me do animations, tons of animations for my comic book. I'm a computer programmer, 24 years professionally, and as well, I've got a comic book company. I own a comic book company, Black Dragon, ftw.com, Black Dragon Comics. Check it out. Racist Angel, thank you so much for your support. I've been talking about Racist Angel, a book that I've put together. Really something that you can't publish anywhere else except for on the internet. And thanks to all of you fine folk out there who've been supporting me buying this great comics, and it's delivered immediately to you across the world, I've actually been able to push that envelope in culture, because politics, right, they're downstream from culture. So shifting the culture, shifting what you're able to say makes a difference. That's what it is. RacistAngel.com. Check it out. Here's a little bit of a trailer and what I've been doing with my kids, and you can get a little bit of a taste. Thank you so much for your time. rowuncensored.com. Subscribe just in case. It's a great way to keep in touch with me. There's a newsletter there, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Good night. That I put together a book, Racist Angel, available at racistangel.com, telling the story of a beautiful angel. Her name is Alexis. She comes down from heaven. She actually gets canceled from heaven, believe it or not. Why? Because she's a little risque. Gets to earth, has no idea of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, or what you shouldn't say, more like, because people seem to be a little nuts these days. She gets accosted as well, by the way. She gets accosted by some folk who maybe should be going home. She fights back, and she doesn't take no for an answer, and she's not a victim. That's Racist Angel. Check it out. I really appreciate your time. And be sure to subscribe to rowuncensored.com, just in case some of my opinions get me, I don't know, I gotta be careful. Thank you so much.